Hello and welcome to Just Another Podcast. And today we're here to talk more rubbish. My name's Tinashe. I'm joined by my co-host and colleague for the podcast.
Why are you giving a formal introduction like it's our first one? I mean,
Straight in. I'm trying to keep it professional because we're going to be discussing a very serious topic today. Kind of the relationships that people are in, relationships in general, the icky sticky situations people find themselves in.
Icky
Hey, you know,
Go on, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut your flow off, man. You go for it.
The icky sticky situations that people find themselves in. What turns people off? That's the thing. Did a quick survey on my group chats, asked a lot of people for their input onto this. So we've got one or two standout icks or things that put people off that have come up across different group chats. So stay tuned for more.
Don't you have any more icky sticky situations to put in your introduction?
That would ruin the show. Save those for later. Stay tuned. Keep listening. Keep listening. You'll hear them dropped in soon.
Are you about to take us through your love life and take us through your icky sticky situations in real life that you've suffered through?
You know what? I'll probably give the ick more than anything else. To be fair, but I was just thinking we'll talk about relationships, because they're an important part of most people's lives. In this case, we're talking about romantic relationships specifically. And yeah, so I'm just going to jump straight into it, right? AZ, are you ready?
Go on.
So there's a little fun fact. Fun fact.
Is this like one of your facts, or has it been verified as an actual fact? Is this your imagination, or is this the actual fact?
Combination of both, right?
Okay.
Combination. So
I mean, I just want to know how to judge it, because I mean, if it's your imagination, then I'll give you a different credit for it. You know what I mean?
all right. There's a little fun fact. It's a bit of a long fact or long thing, but it's fun anyway. I really shouldn't be the one to decide whether something's fun or not, but here we go.
I mean, you know how we do on this podcast, man. Whoever's saying it, you set the tone beforehand. You tell people that shit's funny.
It's a fun. Now laugh, everyone. So I was reading an academic paper from the US. So they're talking about how people in the 90s, when online dating started, late 90s, early 2000s, it kind of brought more people online. And traditionally, when people were dating, they normally date people within their particular circles, right? So imagine if you're going to a house party. The reason you're going to a house party is you're connected to the person who's hosting it, or someone who knows them. So effectively, you're in the same social circles. And if you're going out, say you're going for dinner with people you know already. So there's people in the same circles, whether you're meeting people in different environments, right? Whether it's a sports club, at work, anywhere, right? Those people tend to be connected to you. So the thing with online dating, what they found it kind of broke those barriers that people normally face. That meant within the US, actually, it meant that people were dating people outside of their social circles, their class circles, their race, effectively, and their culture, because you're actually able to meet more people by swiping right. Nowadays, by swiping right? Because you can say.
Can I just ask you,
radar.
Where's the fact in all of this? This is like you read off a Wikipedia page. Back in 1920s, when the first Tinder came out, I mean, Henry swiped left, but he was meant to swipe right. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
So the fact here is online dating, and now this is where I extrapolate what they said to dating apps. Ensure that you have a wider span of people that you would normally have. So dating apps actually increase the amount of opportunities you have to meet different people, which means that you can meet people, challenge you, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is dating apps are good for society in general. That's my fun fact, because it expands the circles.
Okay.
Give it a reaction. Come on.
That was a -2. That was a -2.
It's something.
What was that? What was it?
Something.
Was it a fact? Was it a story? Was it what was it?
It's a bit of a story. It's a bit of a fun story. It's just a little introduction to talk about relationships, right? What are people looking for in relationships? Like,
do you know what I'm interested in though? I'm interested in your dating app experiences, man. I want the stories about how that's going for you. Who are you swiping on? You know, who are you swiping right, left on? Who are you swiping right on? You tell me what's going on in your life. That is what the audience wants to know, man. That is what we all want to know.
Do you know what? I'm actually not on dating apps. Having said that long story about them, I'm actually not on dating apps. Don't do them.
I think this might be a good time to let you know that I've been catfishing as you. So no matter which dating app you go on, all the top ones, you know, we don't do free promos here. If you know, whoever wants it, come holler at us. But you know, no free promos. But I've been catfishing as you on all of them, man. And I got bad news for you, bro. It's not going well. For some reason, no one ever replies back.
Well, because you just don't have my charm. That's it.
I mean, I can only
hi, how you do?
I can only show them your charm once they match back. So I mean, I'm not saying anything yet.
Oh, you're ruining my self-esteem.
Do you know what? Like, you know what? I'm gonna say this, right? Because I think a lot of people feel it, and a lot of people have been in sort of a similar situation, but they wouldn't necessarily admit to it. And I know, like, you've used them in the past, so I know you would probably agree with this as well. But it's really weird though, man. Like, you know, when you're on there, like, honestly, bro, your self-esteem that you have becomes exactly connected to how many likes you're getting. Like, you know, days when you get loads of likes and you start to feel gassed about yourself and you're like, oh yeah.
You're feeling yourself.
Like, I'm feeling myself here, you know, like I'm really feeling myself. But then other days when it's a bit dry, you're literally thinking to yourself like, what the hell just happened? Like, why did it flip? Like yesterday I was having so many matches and like I was talking and that, and like today nothing. Like, really? Like, did I change somewhere in that day? Because my pictures are the same.
I kind of understand what you mean, right? In the past, when I've been on the dating apps, none, we're not naming any, it does fluctuate and it does impact your self-esteem to an extent, right? So as you say, like, if you get loads of likes, you really start to feel yourself. But then if it goes down, you're like, I'm not feeling myself as much. There's a lot of people that have that, right? But then it's also a lot of admin. I call it admin because it is admin. Like swiping right, messaging people, it's like sending out emails, you know. Do you not agree?
I do agree with you. And obviously, like, you know, and it's sort of an advice for, I'm not sure if people want my advice because it's not like I'm freaking Elon Musk here, but so like
keep that shit to yourself.
I mean, this is my platform. I say whatever the hell I want. No, but like, obviously, you know, like, it's not like a direct one-to-one kind of relationship, you know, but like at the same time, I know for a fact because I've spoken about it to like my other friends as well. And it's really weird though, because like you could be the most confident person in yourself, right? You could be living like your normal life or whatever, but for some reason, when it comes to like, especially when you're actively on these apps, like I know at times when I've been on it previously, like, bro, like for real, for some reason it feels like your entire self-esteem, what your worth as a person just comes down to these apps. And it's like I was saying, like, bro, like good days can really, really gas you up, and then bad days it's just like, what? Like, why is my phone not buzzing? Like, you checking your notification, like, yo, what's up? Is my phone broken there? What's going on?
What kind of self-esteem day are you having today?
Oh, right now it's a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie, today's a really good one. Why do you think I'm all smiley and stuff? If today was a bad day, I would not be doing this podcast. I'd be like, nope, I need a better day. It gets you in your feelings, bro. Like, it really, really does.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, a lot more people now have met their girlfriends or boyfriends on the dating apps. Like, a lot more. So the longer the apps have been around, a lot more of them are meeting the other halves on those platforms. So what are people looking for? Like when they're looking in general, not just on the apps, right? We've talked about the apps. They're bad, but if they sponsor us, they're good. We'll tell you about that. It's a very specific app.
The moral compass changes quite a lot depending on how much we are getting paid.
Exactly. That's what we're about. What are people looking for? And I was telling you, right, there's this thing I recently found out from a person I was having a drink with. They said there are 3 things that...
Is that what we call them now, yeah? A person?
A person.
Is that how you define it, yeah? Oh, just a person. A person. In quotation marks, just a person.
We're not naming names. So it's really interesting. They've got this three pillars, right, to a good relationship. So they talked about compatibility, chemistry, and connection. So those are the 3 things. So
I just feel like they're the same 3 things, but just said in different words.
But when you break it down, when this person broke it down, I was like, sign me up to this content. And I'm gonna do the breakdown for them, right, on their behalf. So the first one is compatibility, right? Do you get along? Do you have the same values? Are you interested in the same things? Do you like doing things together? Are your communication skills good? Like people have different ways of communicating and arguing as well, right? Some people want to argue right there and then. Like they want to get it off their chest. Have you ever seen those situations when someone's like, I want to argue right now, right here, right now. I'm not waiting. Whereas other people want to take time and go away and think about it and then say their piece. So there's a kind of different ways of communicating and kind of navigating relationships. That's that.
But that also depends
compatibility.
But that also depends on how. What's the word I'm looking for here? How interested you are. Because like if you're from your side, you're quite serious, then you'd be like, yeah, I'll talk about it a bit more. But if you're not that serious about it, you just be like, I can't be asked. Like I'm not really gonna spend my energy like discussing this here. It's like cool, like okay, we're having a decent time here. I don't really care that much for it. So I'm not going to bring it up. And then, more than likely, this is probably not going to go anywhere anyways. So there's no point in me wasting my energy on it. But then if you really care, you'd be like, I got to bring it up because I really need to know what you think.
See, that's the thing, right? So that's different ways of... You're saying... This is when you're in the relationship, right? Not necessarily prior to the relationship. People care to different degrees, right? They want to pick and choose their fights. Then that's one aspect, right? In terms of compatibility, there's loads of things that people can focus on, right? You'd be like, well, some people's life aspirations could be featured in the compatibility pillar. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like that only comes into play when you're really serious about it. Like, you're really, really serious. That's when you're thinking, like, okay, what's, like, the long-term compatibility and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much for setting me up onto the next thing.
I didn't mean to set you up, so... okay.
You've done your job. The next one is actually chemistry. Are you just vibing with the person? Sometimes you meet someone, you're like... I just like I like their energy. I like everything about them. It's not necessarily restricted to romantic relationships. It could be friendships as well, right? You're just like, this person's energy is matching my energy right now. When it comes to romantic relationships, it's like, they say something like, yes. Do you ever get those moments? Like, just like, yeah, the chemistry is off the scale here.
Sometimes, yeah. Like, do you know what I think?
Sometimes
that goes more with like your own mood as well. Like sometimes if you're just in a good mood, you kind of agree with anything anyways, and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling this right here. Other times, even though you're on the same page, you're just like, yeah, I'm having a shitty day here. So yeah, cool. Like I agree with you. I don't agree with you. I don't really give a shit.
But you must be a difficult person to go on a date with.
Nah, bro. Like honestly, like I've never heard anyone say it's been either boring or, like it's not been fun. Like I could talk for so long, bro. Like I could talk so much shit. It's unbelievable.
Like, you're bigging yourself up here. You're just like, yeah.
If you don't love yourself, no one else does. Of course, I'm gonna big myself.
It's like Kendrick. I love myself.
You gotta love yourself, man. Like if you don't love yourself, no one else will do it for you.
That's the first rule of dating, isn't it? Love yourself first.
It's not even dating, bro. It's life. It's philosophy 101. Not that I ever did philosophy, so I'm probably just talking rubbish here. But if you don't love yourself,
I think today you're giving a lot of advice to the masses.
Bro, I'm the guru here, man. I'm in my zone. I'm sitting on my chair with both my legs folded. Like I'm here for this, man.
Those likes have got you gassed, isn't it?
Those likes today have really got me gassed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we need to have words with whatever app you're having. Because there's confidence.
This confidence is not good for the world.
Yeah, no. Next thing you're gonna be telling a surgeon how to do the surgery. Like, actually, this is how you go about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him up and be like, "Excuse me, all right? let me have a crack at that heart. I'll tell you how it's done. You need to chill, bro. Forget your medical degrees and all that. Your experience. I'll tell you. I'm here.
I'll tell you about chemistry. But that's the thing, though. Like, it's the confidence. Chemistry also comes from confidence. If people are actually confident around you, or you're confident around them, and you're at ease, it builds that chemistry. There's a few times, right, I've spoken to people, and I was like, whoa, my mind's blown. Like, in terms of just generally that chemistry being there.
Give an example, though. Give an example. Like, obviously, don't name names here, but like, give like a little.
We do not name names. Okay. So I was at an event, like I'm trying to remember the event now. It was a charity type of event, right? About making a positive impact in the world, etc., 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 right? But that's not the key thing. The key thing
is that your way of saying you weren't paying attention. So you heard the charity part, and after that you were like, "Yep, that's me out of it."
I was there. It was a very good charity. They need to keep doing what they need to do, helping people out. It's a microfinance charity, but away from that, very good work was there, and this person comes up, said hi, start talking, and like you just get in this space where no one else exists. In a room full of people, just kept talking, and as the days I was still using Instagram, I was like, oh, this is just it. Let me get your Instagram, let me get your number. But the person was like, you know what?
What's your name?
This is great.
What's your number?
Yeah, I was like, this is going really well, but obviously got the details. But then, in us talking, found out the person's actually won't be based in the UK. They're based in Kenya at the time. So I was like, okay, this is not going anywhere. So I was heartbroken. I don't think you can ever be heartbroken after like a 2-hour chat with someone, but I was definitely heartbroken after that.
Really, tell us about your emotions. Tell us if you cried that night.
I did cry.
Did you have a little weep in your bed, like, oh no?
I was like, oh no, like, it could have been so great. I think for me, that's the definition of chemistry. Like, just no one else matters in that particular moment in time, and it's just a bubble, and you're just having a good time. Or you always have a good time with the person. When you look forward to seeing someone or talking to someone. Because the vibe is just unreal. And I think that's chemistry. Like, when you're always looking forward to being around them, that energy and getting along with them. I think that's like that core chemistry part. That's the foundation of relationships. Compatibility comes and goes, but I think chemistry is like the key thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think.
So what's your
call it chemistry? Or yeah, I guess you can call it that. Like, I think by far the most important thing is like how you feel. right? Like
Yeah.
like you could have like a whole bunch of like say if you were to like kind of draw out the person that you would want to be with, you could have like a whole bunch of, I don't know, like
Tick
features or
boxes.
attributes. Yeah, like tick boxes, right? And be like, I want this and I want that and I want that. And you could find someone who has all of those things, but then you might not have the chemistry with them. And in which case you'd just be like, yeah, it's not really working.
I see what you mean. It might not necessarily work from a chemistry perspective. The liking part, there's the final part. There's a smooth-ish kind of transition to the next part, which is the connection. Like when people talk about
But then isn't
connection,
that chemistry?
connection is more like physical attraction.
Okay.
That's what it's down to. Like just physical attraction. Just be like, ooh, I like this person. I like how they look. No, there's no science to it. It's just I like this person. I like how they look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's could be like there's that. That's just it. Like you could just be like I like how they look. I like how they walk. I like how they, I know their teeth. Something like that. You know?
Say teeth.
Yeah.
I got it mixed up with a whole different word I thought you said. I was like, whoa, okay.
We're keeping it PG.
I was just about to say like, okay.
It shows where your mind's at, man. But no, teeth.
You're the one who said it, not me.
So teeth. It's
Okay.
teeth. Okay. You know, someone just like their teeth. There's loads of things that people could like, right? Loads of people have different criterias or different things that they're looking for. But I think that connection is just more the physical side. You're just attracted to that person. And I think attraction sometimes blurs the lines, right? If someone's really attracted to someone, they can ignore a lot of red flags, like a lot of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. You see that kind of stuff all the time, though. Like,
all the time.
you see that kind of
all
stuff
the time.
all the time.
So one of my friends was dating this girl. It's my friend actually. It's not me. It's my friend.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Before you say it,
Wait to convince
anything,
us.
before you say anything, and in his mind, he was like, "We are not compatible. There's nothing here. Like in the long run." But he just really really liked how she looked, and is super attracted to her, and it was a toxic relationship, but he couldn't get out of it because he was just so attracted to her.
Nah, see, I think that's, I don't know, because I mean, being attracted to someone is one thing, but being in a toxic situation definitely takes that attraction away really quickly. Like, she could be like the most best looking person ever, and you would just be like, yeah, this is not worth it, man. Like, this is just
Yeah.
stressful as hell, and I can't be arsed dealing with it.
But that's it. Like it just, and I think there's also then what you're talking about in terms of looks. So there's this guy, like a really really good looking guy, and all the girls, like my friends, they loved him. They're like, oh, he's so good looking, so good looking, such a good looking guy. Like
Why do you sound jealous? I can feel that. I can feel the anger in your voice coming through. So good looking. So good looking.
I'm not a hater, man. I'm not a hater. But it's a good looking guy. The thing is, obviously, they were physically attracted to him. But a few of them, when they went and spoke to him, they're just like, there's nothing here. Because he was so good looking. There's this thing, like, you know that concept? Have you heard that concept about, like, really, really good looking people, in some instances, don't develop a personality?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everyone else has to do the work. My friends found it difficult to strike conversation because apparently he didn't have a personality. But also at the same time, I thought that was quite harsh because think about this. Maybe he just doesn't get along with them that well.
Yeah. It's very hard to like
Did you-
judge someone to that level based
Based on
off
their
like a
looks.
5 minute conversation
Yeah.
to be like, oh, there's nothing there. Like maybe he doesn't feel that comfortable just opening up to anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like some people
Yeah.
prefer to like know someone and really know them before they can start talking to them about their life and who they are.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that's one aspect, right? Like how people open up and people do different things. Quite a superficial thing, right? Talk about looks and all that kind of stuff. But that's it's also part of relationships. There's no hiding away from it. No, but the different, what you said, the different types of like people opening up at different times. Depending on the time of day you meet them as well. Like if so, I think if you went on a date today, right, AZ, you'd be like on fire.
That's every date, all right?
Don't
put me down like that. That's every date.
Your chat would actually be good. But it depends on the capture. So sometimes you might actually the person might be the right person for you, but you just catch them on the wrong day.
Yeah, definitely. I think, but then again, right? If you met someone for like the first time, and you get like a really dead kind of vibe from where you're just like, yeah, like this is it's not great right now, then you only have that, like 5 minutes to kind of judge them, right? So unless you speak to them over like a really long time, which most people wouldn't necessarily be doing, you kind of have those 5 minutes to judge someone. So I guess in both ways, it kind of does make sense. I don't know. I mean, that was really insightful by us, and I just at the end be like, yeah, I don't know. just do whatever you want.
Just do what makes you happy. Do whatever that is. But I think that's it, right? That whole 3-pillar thing is quite a good way to look at it, right? I'm saying it's a good way to look at it, right? I've
got like a far more important question here. Far more important.
Go on.
All right. This is normally like an elephant in the room, and I think we have to put it out there. Who pays?
Oh, I'm going Dutch, splitting the bills.
Even on the first date?
A little dance. Like, oh, I'll pay. Oh, no, don't worry about it. I'll pay. Oh, we'll split the bill. Oh, no. Then I don't worry about it. I'll pay.
See, because my thing is this, right? On the first one, I will 100% pay. Like, I will always pay, and I'm cool with it. That's fine. But if that starts to become something and you're seeing that person again and again, at the very least, like you said, I want to see that dance. Like, I want to see the girl make an effort and be like, yeah, do you know what? Let me take this one. Like, I want to hear that from you. If you're just going to be sitting there and expecting me to pick you up every single time, which depending on if I like you, I can do, like, it's fine. But I need to see that from you. I need to see that commitment from you in terms of like, you know what, like, no, let's split it, or let me pay this one. Like, I want to hear that from you. And if you're in like say third or fourth date and she's not saying a word, then I feel like you just gotta be like, all right, I'm gonna cut, because this is not like a free meal that you're getting. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I want to see that effort from you as well.
I think you're right in terms of the the effort. But I think also people have different financial situations when they go into relationships. Where some people, if you get paid significantly more or have a bit more disposable income compared to other person.
Cool, you taking to Harrods on your dates, bro. My guy brought a financial situation like she's thinking, who I gotta remortgage my flat here? That was one expensive meal.
You never catch me in Harrods, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not that kind of guy. I think that's also like a factor, right? Maybe in the long term, when you go on dates, right? It's like some people want to choose like expensive restaurants, but if you choose an expensive restaurant, say you're paying, I've never done this, right? I'm speaking not from personal experience. If you go on a date and you're spending £300 on dinner, like if you've chosen the location, then you have to pay, right? Because you've selected that particular location fully well knowing how much it will cost.
Yeah.
But you can't select the place for someone else and then that price gets to very, very high, a very high amount, and expect the other person to pay.
But then there's also that rule as well, right? Whoever asks the other person out has to pay for it. So whoever says, what are you doing this Saturday, is the person asking them out, so then you have to pay for it.
Yeah, there's so many rules to this.
No, but like, okay, say if you go to like, you're not going to like £300, £400 restaurants and having expensive meals. Say you're only seeing each other over like, say desserts, right? You're going for like milkshakes or like ice creams or whatever. That's like a very casual, chilled out kind of thing. and yet after like say
Who are
2
you
or 3
taking out? Who are you taking out on a date, like to ice cream on the first date?
No, I mean like sometimes you don't necessarily go on like a full on date. Sometimes you're like, all right, like there's nothing specifically planned. You're like, all right, let's just go out. And say if you like meet someone outside and you're like, all right, what do you want to do? Not really hungry. All right, let's go to like a nice kind of dessert chill out kind of place, and just like hang out for a bit.
Oh man, I need to see you on a date.
Why'd you say that? Have you never done that before?
I've gone for a coffee. Like
Coffee and
stuff.
desserts are the same shit, innit? Like, how are you questioning my desserts but you can say I've been going out to
No,
a coffee?
I never just heard someone who goes on a date to a dessert place.
I'm not talking about like creams here or like some corner shop stuff. I'm talking about like going to like those upmarket places, bro.
What's an upmarket place?
There's a place in Knightsbridge called, well, apparently it's called
Knightsbridge,
L'Opera. It's like
Yeah.
a dessert place, which is quite nice. Elon is quite decent. Like, if you go around Knightsbridge, there's loads of these places, man.
You're hanging out in Knightsbridge. That's outside my tax bracket.
No, it's not. You're just cheap. There's a difference. You're just cheap. But no, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, you're not going to, like, no expensive areas. So you're just going to, like, your regular, casual kind of spots, right? And, like, 3-4 dates in, and you're still, like, you're not even going to say, like, let's split it at the very minimum.
That's problematic. I feel where you're coming from. But I think even, like, when it gets to the dates, right? This is where I'm going to move on. I'm going to move this swiftly on to the main event for today. The one we've all been waiting for. The sticky, icky situations.
Go on.
The first thing probably what would help is, do you know what an ick is?
Yeah, it's something that annoys, or, well, I mean, annoys is a bit of a strong word, but something that is not very, like, you're like, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm pulling up Urban Dictionary because, Urban Dictionary is a strong source of knowledge. Ick. An ick is most commonly known as something that's a turn-off when you have a romantic interest
There
in
you
someone.
go. That's the word.
Alternatively,
Turn off.
it can be used to describe something that makes you uncomfortable or weirded out by. I don't know, man. Chess says just totally an ick for me. Someone send me an ick list. I seriously don't want to catch feelings.
Is that part of the dictionary? Is that you saying it?
Yeah, no. That's
Okay, I was gonna say that chess says part of, like, who have you been good at with, bro? Like, yo, what?
the quotes, they're just quotes, right? Giving a little bit of context on the ick. So that's the definition that we've got of an ick. And the reason I bring up the ick is because, do you know what? Till recently, I didn't know it was a thing. Like, people just started using the term ick. I was like, what's that? No.
People started using it last year. Like, last year for like a little bit, it was like a big thing. You know how trends are. Like, once something's popping off a little bit, everyone has to get involved and, be a part of it. And like, it was actually like a thing last year, I think, where everyone talked about their like general life icks, and it was just like, my ick is the fact that you all think you need to get involved and say what your ick is. You know what I mean? Like, you can let this one go and not feel like you have to give your opinion because no one really gives a shit. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. That now I'm informed on the history of the ick. As I said earlier, did a little survey in the group chats, got a few responses, and one of the comments was, someone doing a podcast gives me an ick. Think about that. So, AZ, me and you are giving someone the ick at some point.
I'm proud of that. So keep icking away. Keep icking away, bro, because we'll continue to do it. So
keep icking away. So
I'm not sure if that's a word, but keep
icking away. So there was.
That's a really weird one though. Like, why? Why specifically
Think
podcast? Like, is it just like a general? I don't know. Would you say like someone listening to music is an ick?
No, I think it's just more banter, right? Like, but then also at the same time, it would personally give me an ick. Like, someone wants to speak into a microphone once a week, just to hear the sound of their own voice.
Yeah, but like, we don't do it.
I'm doing it, but
but we don't do it to like listen to our own voices and feel proud of it. Like, it's more about doing something for fun. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll fight.
Getting a
I'll
little bit
take,
different.
I'll take technicalities here. You know what I mean?
Get a little bit defensive over there, is with the ick.
Again, man, if you don't love yourself, no one else will.
You're on the defense. So one of the icks that actually came up frequently on multiple group chats was men wearing white jeans.
I mean, I can see it because, like,
But
I don't own any white trousers, and I can see why that would be a little weird.
yeah,
But then again,
Love
that's like a
Island,
personal fashion thing. So
yeah, like Love Island.
yeah, I mean, I don't
think
watch it. I know what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of guys on there wear white jeans. So I think it's maybe, in general, it gave people the ick. But a lot of guys on Love Island wearing white jeans has now kind of it associates bad behaviors with white jeans. Or white jeans are now associated with bad, immoral behavior because of that show. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but that's my theory. And
Please comment below to let us know if you feel the same as Tanashi or not.
Yeah. And then another ick. So this is hot off the press. So this came after I sent the request, which is just saw a guy wearing his football boots home, running down the stairs from a tube. So he's wearing football boots, running onto the tube. That gave someone the ick. Someone just wearing football boots on their daily life.
No, so was it the football boots with the studs on the bottom?
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, I mean, that's just wrong. You can't wear those studs in your normal day-to-day walking life. Or is it just football boots that you wear to play, like,
No, it's like
goals
it's like football boots.
with like studs on them?
Mm.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, that's just weird. Like,
It's
you're
weird,
you're gonna ruin your own studs as well by running on them.
Exactly. That's why it's an icky, sticky behavior, though. You know. And then, do you want to hear another one?
Yeah, go on.
This one's a random one, pretty good one actually. It says,
Like the rest all made so much sense, didn't it? Football boots.
"Hey, white jeans." Or like, someone said men's trainers when they're tied really tightly, and the laces are too long.
I don't get what that means though. Like
So
tied
when-
really tightly. Okay.
So when when people do up their trainers, sometimes can do it a little bit loosely, can do it really tightly, and then the laces get really long.
That is very, very specific, you know? Like, who said that?
Bro, that's the whole point about icks. They're very specific.
No, and it could be something like, yo, like... No, actually, I don't want to say it because that's a bit too rude. And I'd rather not say it.
Oh, God.
No. I'm not falling for that trap. I'm not. I'd rather... But like, an ick is a bit... I think it was like a more general thing where you're like...
No, icks are very specific.
Like, for example, like someone being really cheap on like your date where you're like, oh, like, you look at the menu and you're like, okay, can you not order anything that's more than certain amount, like, kind of being like that cheap person, like that could give you the ick. Not like, yo, your trainers are tied a bit too tight and your laces are a bit long.
Again,
why would you even notice
that? Again, very defensive here.
No, because like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you even notice that?
I think that's the whole purpose, though. It's like the tiny. I think for me, icks are just like the tiny little things that people might not necessarily notice.
Okay, then what gives you the ick?
Thing. I don't really have particular icks.
One thing that, not necessarily an ick, but one thing that you're just like really like you couldn't do better than that.
If I'm dating someone, the one thing I really like is when someone's got a nice voice, or I need to think that they've got a nice voice.
Okay.
So that's the, for me, that's like,
You don't want it to have like some ashy voice where it's just like Tanashi.
Do you know what? I don't even have like a particular voice preference. Like it could be that, but it's just I just need to like their voice.
Okay.
I mean, that's not
too bad,
groundbreaking. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
groundbreaking. And also got one more thing. Another ick that I've got. You know, pump socks.
No, what's that?
It's those, you know, the ones that are, you know, instead of getting like proper socks, they kind of cover your foot pretty much.
Oh, the ankle socks.
Yeah, not ankle socks, but the ones that are even like more hidden.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Like
so
the ones that basically are like the really, really small ones.
yeah.
I swear they're called like ankle socks. No?
I don't know. They're called foot pump socks, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so apparently that those give someone the ick because they just don't like, they just don't want to, just don't want to see the person wearing those.
Again, very specific, but okay.
I took that one personally because I love those socks. I was like, whoa. I think a lot of people have like an ick around smoking or just not liking.
Smoking what though? And by that I
Cigarettes.
mean cigarettes or shisha.
Cigarette.
I mean, I just smoke cigarettes up. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, people are coming for you.
I mean, I just smoke cigarettes up. Like, okay.
Do you feel like I made this ick list based on you? I was like,
No, because I mean, I don't wear white jeans. I don't wear ankle socks. You do. So that one was 100% you.
I don't wear
Shisha
white
one,
socks.
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
like kind of little icks. But then also, someone said like they got the ick whilst watching someone eat.
you know what? I can understand that one. You know when
But you
people
said this-
chew really loudly
Oh,
and like they're sitting next to you and they're just munching away, and it's not their own fault because obviously they're eating, but like they're just chewing in your ear and it's just like just shut the hell up, man. Like go eat somewhere else. I can understand that one. I can 100% understand that
the
one.
way they eat. Yeah, they said they're on a date, and obviously, the previous dates they've been all drinks, like people going out for drinks and stuff, and coffees. I'm not sure if they went for an expensive ice cream in AZ, so I'll need to check on the story.
Bro, I can't believe you've never done like an ice cream thing. Like it's like not necessarily ice cream, but like just going for like a dessert or like a cake or you know something like just to chill out, and it's like a nice place to kind of sit and just chill for a bit.
No, like maybe in the future I'll do that. So yeah, so the other one, the ick actually, yeah, they went on a few dates, drinks, coffee, all that kind of stuff, right? Just talking, getting to know them, and they were like, oh, let's go for dinner. And they said like the guy was eating, and she was like, no. Got the ick from there. Said it's all going very well. Then she looked at him eating. She's like, no.
The dinner one I can understand though. Like
so-
if someone's
but the-
chewing like really loudly, like that annoys me a lot as well.
But no, it wasn't anything loudly. It wasn't anything like that. It's just the way his mouth was moving. It wasn't anything specific. It was just
The way his mouth was.
exactly. That's what.
How is he meant to help himself do that? Like, what do you want him to do?
But that's where the ick thing comes in from, right? It's just ick. It's just like an It doesn't make. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense. It's just like I just don't like that.
I think that's when you're just looking for reasons to say no. Like you're basically forcing yourself to be like, what can I see here that's gonna put me off, and like there you go.
It could be that, but there we go. Icky sticky situations.
Hey man, a shot not taken is a shot missed. So guys, keep shooting, and
The shots.
you'll get like a splash somewhere, you know, all net, no rim. But
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And also stay off those apps.
yeah. I mean,
Actually-
you sometimes you definitely need a break from the apps as well, man. Like sometimes it does get a bit too much. Yeah, but then again, I mean, your good days like today really helps you. It really cheers you up. So it's a gamble. It's a coin flip. You know, if you're willing to take the bad, so to get some good, I'll recommend it. If you have a hard time, you know, keeping your sanity when you're like, why is no one liking me? Stay away from it.
It's time to get off.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. This has been an interesting episode because it's a bit more personal, less jokey-ish, but more focused, really.
Do you know what? I want people in the comments to tell us what their icks are. Like alright, tell us your best dating experience, your worst dating experience, and your ick.
Yeah, Asa, you haven't told me about your best or worst dating experience.
And I'm not going to. that was. I can tell you what my ick is. Like, okay. It's not even that specific. It's more like, especially for like the first date, if the person doesn't make an effort to like at least dress up, that for some reason really annoys me.
That's reasonable though. That's a reasonable thing.
Because it's like,
you need to make an effort.
It's the first time you're gonna meet someone. Like, okay, if you've been seeing someone for like a really long time, it's one thing to kind of be like, that's normal life now. But if you're meeting someone for the first time, like, at least dress up a little bit. Like, don't just walk up wearing whatever you were wearing for the days. Like, you could have made some effort. Like, the other person at least deserves that much, that little bit. So that really annoys me. If you turn up as not really having made an effort, then it's like, yeah, you already know it's going to go bad. So it's like, yeah, you kind of ruined it.
There we go. What a way to finish on AZ's ick. So take notes next time you go on a date with AZ.
Just dress up well. Yeah. I'm not asking for much here. You know.
Yeah. Louis Vuitton, Gucci.
nothing below that. I take Balenciaga sometimes, but you know, it depends on what you're wearing.
Yeah, catch me in Knightsbridge.
Catch me in Knightsbridge. And if you do see me, just pretend we don't know each other. But yeah, man, a shot not taken is a shot miss. So, you know,
shoot your shots.
Shoot your shot wherever you can.
Exactly.
Obviously, don't be a creep. I mean, I don't want this to fucking come back me back in my like. Don't be a creep and start stalking people. Absolutely not.
No. I think a little disclaimer. Obviously it's a show about relationships, but please do respect your partners. Be respectful when you approach people. Be respectful wherever to everyone in general, as we always advocate for. But I think for this particular episode, please do be respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, don't be a creep and start following people around and start stalking. Like, if the person doesn't like you, you stalking them around isn't going to make them turn around and be like, yeah, he's the person for me. Like, it's only going to get worse. So if it's not happening, just move on.
Yeah, it's sad that we have to put this disclaimer because there's some fucking creeps out there. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean...
Okay. It's a wrap.